I was looking on your Twitter, and you had retweeted something that the Apple Music had tweeted. It says, "Success has a simple formula: do your best, and people may like it."
Yeah, makes
I
sense.
like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
absolutely. At the end of the day, it's all we've got. Is our best. And
Yeah.
what's funny thing is, like I said earlier, I made my first record 42 years ago, and I've played on a million different people's records over the years. I've been a session musician and singer, and probably close to 700 or 800 different artist records I've worked on in those 42 years. And I just love playing music. Always have, and I always will. And what's ironic is I'll be 59 in about a month, and I'm better now than I've ever been. I play better, and I sing better, and I write better songs, and so it just, as long as you see the curve kind of going this way, man, you're inspired to keep doing it.
You seem to be the one guy in Nashville that has a great time no matter what you're doing. And you like you said, you've been session musician for so many people. You're always doing some kind of a project with somebody. I mean, it's just about making music for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I'm always surprised at who's on the other end of the phone when it rings. And now it's all email, but I'm not a social media guy. I've yet to send my first text, so I still communicate the old-fashioned way over a telephone. And a great example of that is I never know what opportunity I'm going to be given. And about 10, 12 years ago now, it's been the phone rings and I pick it up and hello, and the voice says, "Vince, it's Eric Clapton." And I just started laughing. I went, "Yeah, sure it is. Right. Yeah." I said, "Who's yanking my chain?" I said, "Who's teasing me?" And he said, "No, it really." He's laughing. He said, "It really is Eric." And I said, "Well, whatever you want." The answer is yes. And it was so cool. He said, "I'm doing a guitar festival in Texas this summer," and he said, "I'm only inviting guitar players that I like." And it was the greatest validation of what I've always tried to be. I think that the real core musicians see me at my real intent, and that was just to be a musician. I wound up being blessed with a nice voice and could write some songs and had a career that way. But just the fact that he saw me as that musician I've always tried to be was pretty powerful.
I saw one of your performances with Lyle Lovett, and you were talking up there about your parents, and your mom in particular was the one who just encouraged you and didn't try to tell you to go get a real job. And your dad was a big gruff guy, and he never got your way either, but you were thanking them. But it was a really interesting story about how the love and how your dad was and everything.
Yeah, I was it's a pretty normal childhood. I think I had a really strict father and a pretty lenient mom to some degree, and my mom always said, she said, I don't really care about having a rich kid. I care about having a happy kid. And she saw that I had so much invested. I played in front of people, I think the first time in the second or third grade. I carried my guitar across the street to school, and I'd learned this song. I had no idea what it meant. Unfortunately, it was The House of the Rising Sun. It was a song about a house of ill repute, and I didn't know that, and I was over there as a third grader singing about cat houses, and so the die was cast for me, I was meant to have a sordid future,
You mentioned all the folks you've been involved with and worked with over the years in Hollywood. We've always heard about the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, and now I hear there's a website, the 6 Degrees of Vince Gill.
There is, and it's hysterical. It's a lot of fun to get on there and punch in musical names and find out how we're connected, in a lot of weird ways. It's, to me, if it's past 1 or 2, then it's kind of silly, but it's pretty neat to see the history of how I'm connected to so many.
I hear there's over
people.
1 million to choose from in the database, and the degree between you and Iron Maiden is 2 degrees.
As it should be.
The degree between you and Fab Five Freddy is 5, and William Hung from American Idol 2.
There you go. Rest my case.
You have had a
Strange
great
life.
career.
Yeah, I had a strange life.
Do you and William still hang out together?
All the time.